What's going on, everybody? Jokertone here, and welcome to my review of Episode 2 of Power Rangers Dino Charge. I am sorry for the delay. Well, it's not really a delay, because I pretty much, I feel when making these reviews, it'll probably come out either the day of or the day after, unless something big happens where I'm unable to watch said episodes. But no, it's only been about a day. But yeah, Episode 2, Past, Present, and Fusion. Now, we get actually a pretty decent amount of stuff in this episode. We get not only the new Green Ranger, Riley, we also get to see all the Rangers suit up for the first time all together. Now that was honestly a little shocking to me, because the way that it seemed in the first episode seemed like they were going to just build the team gradually, but then it just gave it to us all kind of right away in this episode, which isn't a bad thing at all. What I'm noticing with Episode 1 and now this episode is that it's structured differently than other Power Rangers seasons, which is another reason why I kind of like Judlin being back. I don't know if it's Judlin or Judlin, but whatever. I'm glad that they're back, and it just brings this intro a new sense of kind of differency, kind of what we got in RPM, where they kind of started with 3 Rangers and then gradually grew to 5, and things like that. But I feel like with a lot of, especially like Disney seasons, it had like a formula to how the first like 1 or 2 episodes were structured, which isn't a bad thing, but that gets tiring. This is a little different in a sense, but now I'm just kind of rambling. So what we learned in this episode, we learn Green Ranger Riley he lives on a ranch with his brother. I think his name's Cody, who has been confirmed that he will be back later on as the Gray Ranger. And doesn't really like living on a ranch. He lives like on a ranch, probably somewhat near the museum, which took place in the first episode. And he finds his dog gets loose, and he runs into Fury, and comes across the green energem. Now, one of the things I will say this: Riley seems shy. He seems like kind of like not so much like his Sentai counterpart, but like at the same time he seems kind of held back, kind of not held back, but kind of like he's very young. Like now all these Rangers are young, but he just seems to be like maybe the youngest, like maybe the baby of the group, I would say, I guess. But still, he introduction very well. All these Rangers and the whole cast in general is just way better than Samurai and Megaforce by a landslide, and I'm still very hopeful that this series will be doing good, because it's just been completely great. Like, and I'll get to that in a minute. So, Tyler and Shelby meet up with Riley, and I think this is kind of going off the first episode because they're still riding in Tyler's car to the museum, so I think this is kind of going off of the last episode, which is pretty cool. And they run into Riley, and then they all eventually go to the museum, where they meet Kendall, and apparently Kendall is helping Keeper find the Energems, and apparently Coda and Chase have already found Energems, and the 4 of them are trying to find the rest of them. Now, no explanation of how Keeper survived when the dinosaurs got extinct, but I'm probably assuming by the rate of how these subplots and stories and backstories are getting developed, we'll probably get that somewhere along the line in the future. Also, still not too much development on Coda and Chase's front, but I'm making a video for later where it's like the first couple episode guide of my thoughts, and the next couple episodes seem to be more so based around Coda and Chase, so it's not like they're not going to do anything with them, which is good. They're going to actually, I'm thinking maybe flashbacks or backstory, or to some extent. But yeah, no, so there's a secret base at the museum that Kendall and Keeper Chase and Coda are working out of to try and find the Energems and trying to stop Sledge because he has come back. So we get a good sense, and it's paced fairly well. We're getting a good sense of this backstory to this season, and it's pretty good so far. A little thing that I noticed, that when Kendall noticed that Shelby was chosen to be the Pink Ranger, I feel a sense of jealousy from Kendall's side. Now, mind you, she really didn't seem that strong of Shelby in the first episode, probably because Kendall thinks she's more, I guess, skilled or more competent, I guess. I'm not sure. I personally think at some point Kendall's going to become the Violet Ranger and kind of have that brainy girl, like brainy glasses girl, be the Violet Ranger, like in Q-Uger, with the scientist's daughter being the Violet Ranger. What else? The morphing, that's what I wanted to talk about. Them morphing. I was reading a bunch of things yesterday afternoon saying that a few people didn't like the morphing sequence because it's too long and like drawn out and like weird. But keep in mind, they're on their 22nd season right now. You know? Personally, I liked the morphing sequence. I liked that they used the gun morphers instead of making an American morpher or something. Just because of how unique the morphers are. And to that extent, I thought the morphing was pretty cool. I thought, and because keep in mind, look back to RPM. You know, they spent like a good couple seconds taking those RPM keys out, putting them into their morpher, and then doing the morphing sequence. So it's not like we haven't gotten a drawn out morph before. And it was, I was actually pretty surprised because they actually used the Sentai morph sequence, like when they transform, like the background, the green screen, they just green screen their faces into the morphing sequence, which I thought was pretty cool. I actually really enjoyed that. And also with that, they also make, I noticed a few nice little, I guess, winks to the Sentai, where before the Rangers go in, Tyler says that it's going to get wild, which is something that King says, the Q-Uger Red Ranger. And Chase also says, like, you can call me the hot shot because I never miss. I think that was actually a line in the Sentai, like, you can call me the hot shot hero because I never miss. I think that was actually in the Sentai episode. But I could be mistaken on that. But, yeah, pretty, you know, it's weird. Pretty simple, yet also giving us a lot of story elements. You know, it's just an episode where the team comes together and, well, maybe not comes together, because we have a bunch of filler where it gradually develops the characters to be a team. But as of right now, they just finally, the five come together. It's I feel like it's weird to review this one because it's done differently than past seasons in a sense, but not in a terrible way. Like, it has its own unique flavor to it, and feel like, you know, that last week was kind of like, not like a backstory filled episode, but kind of like a prologue to this first episode, to this second episode, I should say. And all around, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. I'm really looking forward to the whole season, because, like I said before, we're only about 2 episodes in, and this season is already like a bajillion times better than anything from Samurai to Super Mega Force. And that's saying something, because, you know, they took so much time on Super Mega Force, making it kind of like their baby because it's the 20th anniversary. But I feel like they're treating this season season better than Super Mega Force. So, I'm trying to think, did I leave anything out? Oh, and then Sledge comes back at the end. He's like, oh, who here can destroy me, a Power Ranger? And then that just ends. But yeah, all in all, very solid episode. I'm looking to see the backstory episodes between for Coda and Chase, as well as any future episodes with them, and just the series in general. This is turning out to be a really good series. But yeah, no, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys actually watched the episode, Hopefully I didn't spoil anything. It's kind of hard to do when you're only given half an hour episodes to review, because then you're kind of limited to what you can talk about. But no, I really enjoyed it, and like I said, leave a comment below. Let me know